Hi everybody. Today we are talking about caregivers who say, I don't want to care for my elderly parents or a spouse, and the degrees of caregiving that lead to make this happen in your life. I'll share the 3 or 4 stages. I'm Pamela D Wilson. My website is PamelaDWilson.com. On there, a lot of hope, help, and support for caregivers and aging adults. So let's talk about the early stages of caregiving, which really aren't even seen as caregiving. At that point, you probably don't even know that you're a caregiver because you just see yourself helping elderly parents or a spouse or grandma and grandpa with little things. Maybe you bring in their mail or stop over once a week and mow the lawn or shovel the snow or help grandma and grandpa carrying groceries. And your family member is still pretty healthy. They don't need a lot of help. They just enjoy your company and enjoy having you come over to visit. And sometimes you think, wow, I'd rather go and maybe, I don't know, have a social event with my friends than going over grandma and grandpa's or my parents, but I'm going to do it anyway. I feel a responsibility and a duty to do it. That's how all of this caregiving begins. You don't even realize that you're a caregiver. Then the second stage is you're still doing that, but the time is starting to rack up. Maybe it's 5 hours or 10 hours or 20 hours a week. And you're starting to do more because your parents or your grandparents or your spouse can do less. And when I say less, it could be physically less. Maybe they can't get around as well. They're having some arthritis, some pains. Maybe you're noticing that they're not really safe driving a car, so you'd rather take them somewhere. But you're starting to do more things either around the house, like housekeeping and laundry, cooking meals, bringing groceries. Maybe you're starting to drive them to doctor appointments. And you're noticing that this is taking up more of your life, and you're starting to have to make trade-offs. I go help mom or dad or grandma or grandpa, and I don't go out with my friends. Or I don't take 2 classes in school because it's taken up more time and I can only take 1 class. Or, I was offered a promotion at work and that's more work and more of my time, and I'm taking care of my parents, and so it's a struggle. So there's this middle point in caregiving where things are getting pretty lopsided. And you're having to make choices, and you're thinking, I don't like this. I don't like having to take care of my elderly parents or my spouse, but I'm not really sure what to do about it, and I'm feeling guilty. This is the stage where it's important to start having conversations about what's realistic. Now, the problem that got you here is that you were a good son or daughter. You were helpful. You offered your time. And your time built up, and you didn't have any conversations about it. And so your parents now have this expectation, or your spouse or your grandparents have this expectation that you're going to show up every week, and you're going to keep doing all of these things. And the problem is you as a caregiver don't know that there's help out there. You don't know that it exists. You don't know that there are other options for you, and I call these resources. You don't know that there are other resources besides you being this resource for your parents. So the question to ask is, what resources do I have as caregiver? What resources do my parents or my grandparents or my spouse or us as a family have? And what outside resources exist? So outside resources are things like paid caregivers coming into the home, respite care, which gives you a break from caregiving, assisted living communities, nursing homes, and all the other resources like doctor care and things that you can be paying attention to manage your parents' health condition. Your parents also have their own resources, and their own resources are really what can be most helpful if you encourage them and allow them to do as much as they can. So their resources are mental and physical, and the way that they look at their care. So do your parents understand the effect of their medical conditions and what they could be doing, and that they should be exercising or eating better? Those are their resources to improve their life. They also have financial resources. So do you know how much money your parents have? And that may be a personal conversation, but mom or dad, I have done so much for you this far. I've wanted to do it, but I'm at a point in my life where I can't do it anymore. I don't want to be the caregiver for my elderly parents anymore. I want to be the son or the daughter. And so we need to look at other options based on your resources and the money that you have to get you the care that you need. Because my resources, my time, my effort, my income has to go toward my family, my spouse, my children, their education. We have to kind of, in a sense, part ways here so that things are more balanced and not so lopsided. And how do we do that? Caregivers, there is a lot of advice, hope, help, and support on my website. 2 online courses, one about guardianship, one about how to care for elderly parents with a lot of details. My weekly podcast, The Caring Generation, hundreds of videos here on my YouTube channel, if that's where you're watching this. My caregiving blog and all of the information on my website at PamelaDWilson.com. Please click the follow button, click the like button if you're here watching this, and share these videos with other people that you know who are looking for hope, help, and support. There are so many caregivers out there who don't realize the options and who feel trapped caring for family members, and it doesn't always have to be that way. I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Thanks for being here. I'll see you again soon in another video.